Hi Aries, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Aries, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Starting with your sign, it's like going to be a new shift. It's going to be a new way of doing your love readings. I've had some sort of shift going on for myself personally, and I just feel like I can't do the 3D versions anymore. I know that sounds maybe a bit arrogant, and I don't mean to take away like the normal people just continue to do whatever you want to do. I just think that if you're drawn to this channel, you probably are in a very awakened state already, or you or you are like very, at least on the journey to become more conscious and aware about yourself and your surroundings, your growth, your spiritual growth, personal growth, what have you. And I feel like lately the journey within the love connections has become different, has become new. And so what I thought, and to sort of have a bit of a different read today, because I didn't understand fully how this was gonna how I was gonna do this, because all I felt was I wanted to do like a little reading first with the cards and say what comes to me, and then sort of have a little, almost like a reboot, or almost like a, okay, go back to the blueprint, or go back to the 0 point of who you truly are and start over. Almost like leave the three-dimensional energy or dimensions altogether behind and sort of step into the higher realm and what that is going to bring about when it comes to a love relationship. And you fill in the blank wherever you are. If you're single, if you're in a separated situation, if you're already in a committed relationship, I'm not even going to get into that. I'm going to just talk from what I've asked for now and what I've received the information about, is to just bring out the love message from the higher energies. Look at it from a fifth dimensional standpoint, if you will. I'm not even talking different dimensions. I'm just talking, we're heading into a grander light, to a higher vibration right now. And in that higher vibration, where all the, like, where you almost become, like when we're talking about speed of light, or, you know, when it's so fast, like you have a plane passing by and the sound catches up later because it's the speed of light. It's like, yeah, when you see a star fall, it's like we hear stuff like that actually burnt out how many years ago. So there's something to it with the higher up you get, the more of the lower, like, maybe that was a really crappy analogy, but it's like more of the lower stuff falls away or has a bit of a trouble to catch up. And so instead of having trouble to catch up, and instead of staying in those lower, in that sound that comes later, we're now, or whoever wants to, is welcome to step up to this higher light. And in that higher light and in that higher vibration, there's just going to be a completely different, you can just imagine who you are if you're really feeling crappy and depressed and low, like you're really swimming around in those lower vibrations, what type of person you're going to attract. It's going to be a mirror effect. You're going to attract somebody from the outside that actually just completely matches that energy, or matches whatever, you know. But that's a bit 3D also, but let me explain something about that. I just want to say I'm gonna do this reading with these cards, and I didn't understand how we were gonna sort of go back to the blueprint, but then I'm gonna use this mystical wisdom card deck, and we're gonna have a silent, like at the end of the video, I'm gonna silently, I'm not gonna talk, I'm just going to show you 14 cards, and I'm going to explain why. 14 cards, and just show them. We're going to draw them and see whatever wants to come out. For you to fully just sit with those cards, sit with the images, and see what wants to come out for yourself. And then I'm going to move into the extended and see what wants to come out there. Not silently, but talk again in the extended. So that's how we're going to do this, to sort of shift from a three. It's like I want it to be like, okay, so let's be here in the three-dimensional reality. Let's have a quiet moment and just absorb what you want to take in and what wants to come up, or and sort of have the intention to, okay, I want to go back to my original frequency, where everything is scaled away, where nothing is put upon you, no people you've seen around you when you grew up. What was the type of love you saw then? Not what you're not feeling worthy of, but what you were worthy of just being born. Back to the blueprint, back to the frequency. But it's not back to the zero vibration, because you gained so much knowledge and insight and wisdom. So it's like we're stepping out to the light. And now in that light realm, imagine then what you can attract in. So it's not like when you hear people saying, yeah, I hear this over and over, but it never happens. Well, what do you do? Where's your responsibility in this? It's not just to say you don't trust these readings. I'm not saying you are doing that. I'm just saying every once in a while I see people commenting, might not even be on my own channel, but I see people commenting that, you know, it's just bogus because it never happens. Well, that's thinking that something from the outside is going to happen to you, not understanding you have the full capacity and full power to make that happen for yourself. So it's first like just follow me on this journey and see what happens in the silence. See what happens there. And don't start now, Aries. I know who you are. Don't start now to think what's going to come out, because this is not a thinking process. This is moving up. And while we're moving up, we're also moving into the heart. So there's a shift here going on. I want to say that, and I even haven't paid attention to, and I just realized I had a dress with a crow. I had a dress with a crow. I don't know if you heard me talk about this bird story. This bird story just keeps giving. It has brought soul tribe friends to me. It has brought souls that are just connecting in. And through this bird story that I posted for Capricorn, I called it a bird story a couple of weeks ago. I might link it below. And there's something with the crow. There's several birds that has come out, but the crow is significant for me. And the crow seems to be like the upgrade. The crow seems to be the next step of, if you listened to me before, you know that I talked about unicorns and peacocks. Those, and the unicorn seems to, we're not even talking about the unicorn. It's like it's what happens with the peacock. So the peacock seems to sort of fade away, and we're now stepping into the crow. It's like something with it. I don't know. I don't have the full message around this yet. It's being still pieced together. It's still for me a journey to follow, but there seems to be something with a crow. And I just realized for myself that I bought this dress with a crow on for this so freaking interesting. This is so many years ago. I had this workshop, or retreat rather, and the theme was to find your soulmate. And I bought this dress, and the whole dress had a freaking large thing. It was like one big large giant crow on the front and one big giant large crow on the back, and it's like, it feels a bit deathy to me. It feels a bit, but I just loved it, and I wore it, and now it's like, how many years later? It's like, man, it just came to me that I wore that crow dress, and I gave it away to one of my sisters. I don't know if she still has it. Maybe I thought she, anyway. Yeah. Why 14 cards? You might wonder. 14 cards because the masculine number is 12, the divine feminine number is 13, and again, I don't know if you heard me talk, but a while now, when the number 14 has come out, I just have felt, and I understand this is not, and I keep saying this as well, it's getting hot in here, getting really excited when I talk about this. There's something about number 14, that the unique frequency is not what I'm saying, and I keep saying it's not the unique frequency. Maybe if I'm arrogant and full of myself enough, it actually is the new frequency, and I've gotten insight about that. If I normally would talk about 14, the number 14 in itself is a new beginning with the number 1. I get really dizzy now when I'm talking about this. Number 1 is new beginning. 4 is all about the heart. It's all about the heart matter. It's all about your heart energy ascending. What? Heart energy center, I was going to say. Oh my God. Heart energy sending. It's like your heart is ascending. Obviously, probably it really is. It's like that's getting elevated as well. Wow. Lost myself there a bit. So yeah, it's like we're expanding our heart. We're stepping up to something new, a new level. And with that, we're also laying a new foundation. So that's number 4. And then adding those up, we have number 5. And 5 for me is all about change and life path. And yes, we are. We're changing everything right now. And so with that in itself, that's a unique frequency. I've then added what has felt like, and I kept saying, if I'm in love, if I were to be in love with a number, not fully understanding that, if I were to be in love with a number, I would say 14 is the number to be in love with, because it's so gentle, it's so kind, it's so generous, it's really like gorgeous and and soft. Like I can't like raise my voice when I talk about it. It's like the most soft frequency. So it seems like 14 is the next step. And I keep saying this because it's so freaking funny. When I say 14, then comes after 13. What? I thought, you're so enlightened. It's like it's just the energy of, if we go from 12, which is masculine, into the divine feminine, which is 13. I don't even really know what that means. I don't really fully understand what that means. I just feel like we go from a tougher climate into a more soft climate where stuff sort of makes more sense now. And then into number 14, that's why I want to bring out 14 cards for you to watch. It's like, so then we're setting the intention of moving away from the harsher 12 into the fully being the divine of the 13, of the feminine. Everybody's talking about the divine feminine coming back or coming in or implementing the divine feminine. The feminine is already here. We feel the feminine. You choose the feminine. And it's like some sort of combination, or leaving that all together, all behind, because we are in that number 4 now. Yes, we are in that 13, because that adds up to number 4. It is all about the 4. We are in the 4th year. 2020 adds up to number 4. It's all about the heart expanding and opening up and next level and all of that. But how about 14? Which is sort of like a youth. It's like a teenager. It's 14. It's a new beginning in 4. It's something different that we're looking at. So that's why I drew up 14 cards for you to watch. So having all of that said, which is also a part of this large message and sort of the understanding what I'm doing new, I'm going to use the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue. From this new frequency place, from this new 14 energy, what can we give the Aries around love? Okay. I was going to say we have a number 777 because we have the day 7 and also the month 7. I usually only pay attention to the day. Oh, wow. I was going to say this is another level, but that's exactly what I've asked for. So we have today's date is number 7. The frequency of that is like on the 7th day he rested. There's nothing more to do now. It's like, and we're in the 14th minute when I start to talk about this. It's like the next level. It's not like the next step. You hear me talk about this cake where you put all these ingredients together. You put the cake into the oven. We even had a waiting period, and now you're taking out the cakes to indulge in it, to really have the result of that cake. So that's the number 7, and we're in this 7th month. So a lot of those things are happening throughout July, and we're starting off on the 7th of Michael. So it's so beautiful how it's showing this is a dead end now. We're closing it. We're closed. We're being shown a new path. You're stepping into this new gorgeous path here. It's being mirrored, and I'm keeping it in. I kept apologizing for it. I'm not apologizing for it anymore because it's mirrored. Everything on the outside from you is mirrored, and that's the message that has been trying to come through to me for a while. It's being mirrored, but it's the 7 of Michael. Michael is all about doing and action. Let's make this happen now. It's the blue borders. It's like you completely step into some sort of truth of yourself, a truth version. Let's choose this new path. That's where we start off. We go into this 2 of Ariel. Ariel is all about the love. Ariel is my love angel. And 2 is all about conversation, communication in relationships. And so we're talking now about this love in a brand new way. It's a balancing act. You have the yin yang. So this is like masculine, feminine when they're at their best. For infinity. So there's the infinity sign. Please focus. Maybe not. So right there in that bowl, on the bottom there's yin yang, and on top of that you don't see that, but there's an infinity sign in it. So it just talks about endless possibilities. It's just a never-ending possibility what you're stepping into now. In this it's like we're up in the sky now. We're over the clouds and looking at it from a brand new perspective. There's something about it being a real balancing act. And I understand that coming from the old and how the old has played out, how there's been a continuation of this twin flame. I don't want to sort of say that the twin flame stuff is wrong. I just want to say, call it whatever you call it, your soulmate or your twin flame or this 14 energy. We're stepping into this new reality. From the light perspective, attracting a new person. That's really what's going on. You're still attracting people from your vibration. And if you're in the light, you're going to attract this light energy relationship, right? And some people want to call that their twin flame, how they're so supposed to be with their twin flame, and they sort of can't let go of them. That's what bothers me. If they feel, or they've gotten some sort of insight, or somebody has talked about them that that's your twin flame, that you're supposed to stick it out with them, no matter how abusive or toxic they get, which I don't understand. That's not love. I don't care what you call them. You're not supposed to be there. You're not worthy of that. You're worthy of more. Put that in the past and move on. There can be soulmates and there can be twin flames coming in to really put you on your spiritual path. And that's what I've been feeling, is that you're attracting people in whatever situation. That can be coworkers, that can be romantic partners, it can be anything that you're attracting in to sort of spike your own spiritual growth. But for you to say that you need to, like, if there's somebody that comes in to sort of move parts around, they're moving things around, they're sort of escalating you into this new place. Maybe it's been horrible for you, or you meet this person where you just need to sort of sort it out for yourself what it is that you want, but they're not going to stick very long if they're not sort of helping you on your spiritual path, if that makes sense. So maybe there's a lot of people thinking, I'm so freaking ready to meet this person. Why don't they come in? Because first of all, you probably are not as much, like, not really up in the light yet. You probably have a bit more work to do to come into that fully light view. Like, you don't watching down on the clouds. You're not in the clouds or not looking up on the clouds. You're actually looking down on the clouds. That's a new frequency. That's a new vibration. But there's like attracting the people is all about your own spiritual growth. And to then hang on to somebody that is helping you, which feels like a lousy, crappy relationship, but they're helping you expand and grow and become this more spiritual person and awakening to your own truth. Awesome. But then you're not supposed to hang on to them if they're crappy. You're worth more. So I don't call it, I don't care if you call it twin flame, shmame. You can have whatever label you want. If they're toxic and mean and abusive, walk away. Walk away. Then we're stepping into this, we're having the High Priestess, the Magician, and Ten of Michael. It's just mind-blowing. So the High Priestess is like the most advanced. She's like having so much insight. She understands the next level. And it's almost like the Magician and the High Priestess. It's almost like the High Priestess is like representative of the divine feminine, and how the Magician is represented by the masculine here. It's nothing to do with female, male, and everything to do with masculine, feminine. Because it can be, you can have, your sexual preference can be same sex, same gender. So we have 1 and 2. I love that it's like a 1 and 2. It's a process, it's a progress. We move from 1, which is the masculine, to 2, which is the feminine, and then we move on to completion. It's like we have the Ten of Michael here. So Ten of Michael is, a situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. I mean, I couldn't. I rest my case. So we're going to move into 14 cards, and I'm going to be quiet the whole time. It's going to be freaking hard, but I'm going to be quiet. I just want you to see me shuffle. I'm going to shuffle, and I'm going to have 14 cards come out. I'm using this most gorgeous Mystical Wisdom card deck. Mystical Wisdom. We have peacocks there that are going to grow into crows. It seems like, maybe not for all. And if you're having your own, like if you're having your own symbol or indication or whatever you have for your partner, for your soulmate, sort of soul connection, use that. So 14 cards for this most high possible love. Resetting. Coming back to the blueprint. Oh, do you know what I feel? Okay, I'm just going to continue to shuffle for a bit more. And if they want to come out, I'm just going to pull the last ones. They came out like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to show you them just a short while for you to take in and just feel what you're feeling. Let go of what you're feeling and move on to the next card. And then at the end, if you feel drawn to it, move on to the extended reading. The link is going to be in the description box down below. I'm not going to say anything at the end. I'm just going to sort of, bye. And like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That was counting in Swedish. So I'm just going to pull 3 cards. One, 2, 3. So just take a deep breath. Even pause the video for a minute if you want to. And sort of try to make every noisy things go away. Put maybe headphones on or something. And I'm just going to start to show you these cards one at a time, and when I'm done, I'm just going to stop the video, and here we go. Set the intention of, you just want to go back to the blueprint of yourself and also come into the highest frequency that you now reached.